Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim and we swim. What's up, peeps, and welcome back to another video from your girl, Megan Dominique. I don't have a dance, okay? I can't dance. I'm afflicted. Anyway, I'm gonna be talking about depression and, the struggles of dealing with it and, what you can do to help yourself. Because you're the one living with it, okay? Yeah, you kind of need some support, but it starts with you. We're gonna fix this, okay? I'm looking at it. It looks bad. Don't worry. We're gonna fix it. All right. So, getting into this video, we'll do our hair last because we're just gonna push that back. For me, dealing with depression I've been dealing with it since I was probably like in about middle school. It wasn't known that it was depression then, at least not to me. It was manageable for a while though. Like, so manageable that I didn't even notice that I had an issue. It was like a lot of anger that would happen. It got better. I got a little depressed when I was, 18. I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. I got pregnant at 17, had her when I was 18. It was a little bit of a struggle, I'm not even gonna lie. But it did get it got a little dark for me. That's what I call it when I call them my depression flare-ups. My mind kind of goes dark. My thoughts get very dark, and it just seems very crazy to me. I guess I didn't really have like the postpartum depression with my oldest daughter. I didn't have postpartum depression. I had like a little touch of it with my second, but my depression really got bad after I had my twins. And it was even worse because not only was I diagnosed with clinical depression with suicidal ideations, but I also had postpartum depression. So that kind of just, doubled up, and it just got very bad. So what made me go and see a therapist? Well, I had a suicidal moment. I really did. I'm not even gonna lie. My husband and I were arguing. Our marriage was having, we were having some issues. And we were arguing, and I just got very frustrated. I just went to the kitchen. I just wanted to just be done with it. It wasn't that I was being selfish. I really did feel like everything would be easier without me. The only thing that saved me from doing that was one of the twins started crying. It saved me from, going through with it. And it was after that I was like, okay, I do need to get help. What took me so long? So, it's not really talked about in the South. Depression is not really talked about. It's not something that you really acknowledge. You're not depressed, you're just mad. You have an attitude. No, you're just gonna get over it and you're gonna keep going. They don't understand that, okay, I am depressed. I am having issues because of this, and it's hard. I know I have to get up, but I don't really have the desire to do it. I don't have the inclination to get up and just move forward. I don't have that. I know what I have to do. It's just I don't have the drive to actually do it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. That makes it harder. That makes it harder to get through your moments. That makes it harder to deal with things because you know that you have to get up to do this, but you don't know how to get that drive going. You don't know how to start the key in the ignition because it's not talked about. All you know is that they're telling you have to get up. But help me get up. So I went and saw a therapist, which is like the second step. The first step to really dealing with your depression is acknowledging that something is wrong. You're not like messed up in the head. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that something is going on that is making it hard for you to do what you know you need to do. That's step one, acceptance. So step two is actually going out and doing something about that. That takes a little bit more. But I started getting help and I started talking, and that's when I actually found out through talking with my therapist where my triggers are. Yeah, so that's step two, basically, is going and speaking to someone. It doesn't even have to be a therapist. I was seeing a therapist because I needed to. It's okay to go get help. Because I didn't know that it was okay. I thought that people who saw therapists were people who, they were maniacs. Like, they had actual medical problems. I didn't think that I was one of those until I just accepted the fact that I needed help if I wanted to stay here. And I do. I want to be here. Now, I still have some shady moments, okay? Well, I'm in the shadows. I'm not completely dark, but I still get a little shady. And I just have to do step 3, which is implementing the things that I have learned to help myself. So one of the things is I have to find the positive things in my life. It's hard. It is hard, but your strength comes from the fact that you've accepted that you have a problem and that you took the initiative to go and fix your problem. Okay, I'm not saying that you're messed up. I say that my mind is messed up because that's just how I speak. That's just what I say. But you're not messed up. You're just struggling at the moment. And that's okay. Life is full of struggles. Life is full of steps. And you have to take the steps. Sometimes you do get knocked back down, but you do not stay down. That is the thing. You continue to climb. You continue to climb until you get to a point where you feel like you're okay. Don't worry about anybody else. We're just gonna work on it. We're gonna work together. We're gonna work through this together. I've been dealing with this for the past few months. I accepted it earlier this year, and I actually started seeing a therapist. I'm really trying to figure out how to talk about this because this is new to me. I just want people to know that it's okay. You can talk to somebody. I'm actually gonna put the number to the hotline below, just so that people know that there is somebody that they can talk to as well. So you're not alone in this. You will never be alone in this. There are many people who are struggling with this, and there are many people who you can talk to. You will be surprised how many people are actually struggling to find peace in their lives. That's my goal. I want to be at peace not only with myself, but with, I don't know, just everything, with my life, with the way where my life is. I want to be at peace. Not that I want to settle with where my life is. I do want to do bigger and better things, but I want to be at peace with where I am right now. I want to accept that, yes, this is where I am, but this is not where I'm going to stay. And I'm not going to go down. I'm only going to go up. And if I do drop down, I'm not going to stay there. You know, I'm going to get up. And I just want to make sure that y'all know that too. Like, you may be struggling, and most of some aspects of depression can manifest themselves when the person is going through financial hardships or any type of hardship in their life that they feel like they should not be in at that moment. It can happen then. And don't let it get too dark. If you ever feel like you're thinking that this world is going to be a better place, that this world is going to be a better place without you, you're there. And you need to talk to somebody. You should talk to somebody, even if it's just you're sitting in front of a mirror, or you just put your phone down and you just turn on your camera and you're just talking to yourself. That's actually the best thing. If you don't feel comfortable going to speaking to a therapist right now, make yourself your own therapist. Go to the mirror and talk, or record yourself and talk, and make sure you keep that video so that if you get dark again, go to that video and talk. And you basically just talk yourself out of it. You just talk yourself into more positive things. Like, if I'm out and about and something hits me or I'm feeling insecure, I'm just gonna look up because there's a sky above me. Like, I'm actually outside. I just have to pick myself up. I just have to look for little things. It's okay to have depression. Just don't stay down. You have to get yourself back up. The purpose of this video is to help, okay? I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not downing myself. I'm making people aware that depression is real, and it happens to any and everybody. It can. And don't think that you're immune because you're a certain race or you're in a certain area or a certain type of community or anything like that. Depression can hit anybody, okay? It's like the silent killer. It can really sneak up on you, and you don't notice it until it can either be too late, or you feel like you're at a point of no return. You can return. You can come back from depression. You really can. You just have to do that first step, which is accept that you may possibly have depression. And it can happen. It can sneak up on you. Just don't let it win. I'm competitive, so I'm using that. I'm like, you're not going to beat me. You're not. You're not going to beat me. You're not going to take me away from my family or my kids. I don't want us to be our own ending. Like, do you get what I'm saying? I don't want us to end ourselves, be our own downfall. We have to conquer ourselves before we can conquer anyone else. Like, you can't go out here and expect to be, I'm just gonna say, expect to be like a YouTuber. I'm not a set YouTuber. I only have like a couple of videos, but I don't want to be a YouTuber and I'm struggling with myself. Like, what I'm presenting to the camera is fake. No, I want to be real. I don't know. I just feel like we have to help ourselves before we can help anyone else. I think that because I accepted that there was more to it, I was able to progress from always being angry and from always just being so upset at everything and being so stuck in my head and flipping everything into a bad situation. Like, now I'm just gonna have to be optimistic. I don't have to be so pessimistic in my head and then just displaying something else on the outside because I don't want people to know just how dark my mind is. I didn't want people to do that, and I still don't. I don't want you to know exactly how deep I can take some of your words. You may not mean them that way, and I don't want to ruin the conversation, or I don't want to ruin our relationship because of the way my mind is flipping things in my head. I just want people to be aware that you have to be careful. Even if you don't think that you're the one that's struggling with it, just be aware that somebody is, and it can be anybody, and you just don't know who it could be. That's another thing that I wanted to talk about in this video, is just that you have to be careful. I'm not saying that you always have to be on your toes, but just think before you speak. For instance, don't say something about somebody's weight just because you think that you can say anything to them. You can't just say anything to anybody, even if they're your sister or your uncle or your mom. Like, you can't, your mom is saying it to you. Like, you have to also stand up for yourself. You can't let them continue to beat on you that way. You have to take control of your own life. You have to take control of your own mental health. It's very important. It's so important. Mental health is just so important, people, because your mental health can impact your everyday life. It can impact every second of your day, of every day of the year, of every year for the rest of your life. It is a major factor in your life. You need to take the initiative and keep people from hurting you. I'm not saying go out and anybody who says something negative to you or says something that you take negatively, don't go cussing them out or anything like that. Let it be known that what they said hurt you. If you get what I'm saying, like, just be like, hey, yo, that's not nice. If you don't shut them down, not like shutting the whole conversation down, but if you don't shut them down when they're saying that specific thing that is triggering you, they're going to continue to do it because they're going to think it's okay. And you can't let that be okay. You really, really can't. You cannot let that be okay. It's not okay for them to speak to you that way. It's not okay for them to say that to you about that thing, okay? And let it be known in like a nice way. Just be like, hey, yo, hold on, don't go there. Let's just not go there, okay? And if they continue to do something, then that means that that person is toxic to you for that thing. You may want to try and salvage the relationship, but if they continue to do that, and they've done it many, many times before, and they've laughed at it, or they laughed at you, or that situation about you, anything like that, that person is toxic to you. Toxicity is a thing, okay, in people. Not everybody is good for you. They're not. I'm speaking directly to you now. I've already realized this. So I'm talking directly to you. Not myself, because I do need to finish my makeup, but I'm talking to you. So you just have to take the initiative to strengthen your mental health. You have to take the initiative to help yourself. Protect yourself. I'm not saying put a bubble around yourself. This is not Bubble Boy. We're not doing that. No. You just have to keep yourself healthy. And if that means that you have to go through your friends list and unfriend everybody on your social media, unfollow everybody on your social media who you have just realized is toxic, or you have to block these people, whatever you have to do to get back to yourself, that's what you do. And then you continue to be yourself, and good people will come to you. They will come into your life. You will recognize them once you have done this, and you will be happy, and you'll be healthy, and you can move on. You may want that person to stay in your life, but you have to realize that they just may not be good for you. You have to accept that, and you have to move on if that person is indeed not good for you, if they are toxic to you. If they're family, that may hurt a little bit, but you also have to realize that you want to still be here. you may be able to salvage that later on down the road. They may realize, you may realize, there may be a lot of realizations going on, but you have to take that first step and correct it, or it's going to be an endless cycle of them constantly saying things or doing things to hurt you, and you're never going to be able to get past it. You're never going to be able to move forward with your life because they're always going to be knocking you back. They're always going to be taking you back to that dark time in your life, and you cannot allow that to happen. You have to move on, and if you have to move away from that person or that group of people or that family member, anything, if you have to do that, do it. Because you have to fix you first. You have to be healthy. You don't want to take yourself out. You really don't. You may think you do, but you really, really don't. I'm not saying this from a religious standpoint. That is neither here nor there. We are not talking about that. We are talking about you. I'm not talking about beliefs or anything. I don't care what you believe. I really don't. I know what you want to believe, and that is that you can be okay again. And it's not that you just want to be like that. You can be okay again. Just take the initiative and fix yourself. Let me fix my eyes. Be more social. Just get out there. Socializing can actually help you. Or if you're a very social person who uses that to hide how they really are, you're just you're overly outgoing. Try and take some time to yourself. Find a hobby that will help you. Play a game on your phone by yourself and just let it be a mindless game to where you can just let your mind run. Do something like that. Just do just about anything that is kind of outside of your norm can help you. But yeah, you just have to do the 3 steps and figure out if you have depression or if you've been bothering somebody who you think may have depression. You're one or the other. Or you can just decide if you want to be that person who wants to be there for people with depression, and you notice some things that they may be saying on social media or some things that they may be doing around you, and you want to reach out and help them. Depression is just something that we need to talk about. Not just in the South, just it's been talked about, but I don't think it's been accepted as something that can actually happen to a lot of different people. And I don't think that a lot of people who have it or who could possibly have it are going to do something to fix it. I don't think they're going to accept it. So I feel like the more we talk about it, the more, we share about it, and the more we just acknowledge that depression is real and depression can happen. Do y'all see my weight shifting? Like, come on now. Stay on. The more that is discussed, the more awareness that it's going to get. And the more that people are going to acknowledge that they may be the ones with depression. Because like I said, I'm 25 years old. And it was a couple of weeks before my birthday when I actually accepted that I actually needed to speak to somebody about depression before I took myself out. That's what I'm going to keep saying, before I ended what I could possibly have, before I stopped my progress, before I could even really begin. Because I'm just 25. I'm just a quarter of a century old, okay? That's not very, very old. It's really not. I feel old in my soul, like so deep. I'm like in my 60s right now, okay? But I'm not old enough to think that I've had a full life. I have not lived yet. And I need to live. I need to see what else is in life. And for those of you who have, who are struggling and you think that you've lived a long life and like, this is it, this is good, I'm good where I'm at. No, don't be like that. Until you take your last breath, you are not done living. You are not. You should still continue to fight. Even if it's with yourself, to still be here. You fight. Because you're going to win. Don't be your own enemy. Don't. Continue to fight no matter what. Just keep trying. Just don't let depression win. You may be fighting it for a long time. You could be fighting it for the rest of your life. And you may get tired sometimes. That doesn't mean that you're not going to win. No. But that doesn't mean anything. Just because you get tired does not mean that it's over. Or just because you have a really, really dark moment does not mean that depression has won. No. I just don't want it to be taboo in my community back home. I don't want it to be taboo anywhere to where when somebody says that they may have depression or that they think they have depression, or they're just talking and it may sound like depression, because you know when it's depression. You just don't want to accept that that person may have depression, okay? And I'm saying this from personal experiences. I just want to bring awareness to it. That's one of the main purposes of me doing this video. I want to make sure that people understand that you may not be the one suffering, but somebody is, and you never know who that person is. And you never know, so you should always just be mindful. Don't say, like, pay attention to what you're saying. If you notice that somebody's gained weight and that they definitely don't look like they used to, I'm pretty sure they're aware of that, okay? Just because you noticed it doesn't mean that they didn't, okay? It's their body. They are very much aware that they've gained weight. If you're going to just mention it to them just to be saying something, how about you not? Okay? How about you just don't? If they weren't already struggling, they are now, because they know that that you see it and that you're gonna talk about it. Always be aware. We have to be aware, okay? The way the world is with social media and everything, it is painful to live in this world. It really is. It's hard. It's painful, and you have to be strong. And everybody can be strong. You have to take the initiative to strengthen your own mental health and to make yourself healthy. But some people do need help. Okay, they need help, and they don't need people tearing them down. They don't. They need uplifting people, okay? They need positivity, good vibes, okay? That's what we need in this world nowadays. There's so many hurtful things. Cyberbullying is running rampant, okay? Cancel culture is going through social media as well. Hashtags can end somebody's career and their life, and it's just so hard to do this. Like, fuck. I just want everybody to be aware that mental health is important. Okay, it's important for you as well as everyone else. We have to love one another. We have to love and uplift one another. We cannot tear each other down. If you're somebody who is that negative, please take yourself out of the equation. Have that much of a heart. Be that mindful. That if someone has addressed you and said that you're hurting them and you continue to do it, you be the person to take yourself out of that equation. Don't continue to tear somebody down. And with that being said, how do y'all like the look? What do y'all think about the talk that we just had? Should there be a part 2? I kind of do want to do a part 2. Just a little bit more in depth on everything. I feel like I went pretty in depth on this one, but I can go deeper. We can dig deeper, like Mariana Trench. So just let me know what you think. Comment down below. Any suggestions that you have, anything that you want to say. Positive vibes only. I can take criticism. Don't get me wrong. I love criticism. But if you're going to be very, very hurtful with your comments, please refrain from doing that. If you want to see something specific on my channel, please let me know, and I will let you know if I'm actually able to do something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really hope you enjoyed this, and I really, really want you back. So why don't you just go ahead and subscribe for me if you have not already. Just subscribe, and then while you're at that button, just go ahead and click that bell as well, okay? So that you can get the notifications of any new uploads that I may do. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and please stay beautiful. Bye, guys.